Howdy there, and welcome to Faith Finders, Dungeons and Dragons podcast, navigating the nerd into the bag and supernatural. My name is Ashley Elizabeth, and I'll be your dungeon man for Campaign Island, and with me is the Stew Panda Sam.
Why, hello there.
Hey, Sounding Austin.
Howdy, partner.
Hey, Mason and Marcia.
Well, yeehaw!
The Radical Rachel.
Hiya.
Hey, last but not least, the cool guy.
What was said?
The cool guy. The cool guy.
No, I'm here. Hi, guys. Help.
Now, little Tornado Island.
What?
So,
This is what we're going to talk about, like, for the rest of the day.
Oh, please
whew,
no.
I just had a stroke. Okay, so last time you all went to the Lady of the Lake and retrieved Excalibur, but not with some strange happenings. Annabelle and Fred became quite mesmerized by Nimue upon you all dining with her. Styx traded the Holy Grail for the King's Sword, and if Styx did not fulfill this promise, she would lose her arm. So, that happened. Mm-hmm. You all returned the sword to Morgana, and she destroyed it, and you now have gone off and met the next council member. It is this figure who doesn't seem to stay still. It is constantly changing, adding tentacles, removing fins, adding heads everywhere. It just doesn't seem to stay put. And Annabelle was quite upset by this person. And that's kind of where we left it off.
Alright.
So,
who even are you? Like, actually, like, what's your name? If I'm gonna hate you, like, I want to know your name so I can make sure to get it wrong.
You can't... I have no name. I have many names, I have no names. I don't really stick to one. People just kind of give me names, and it's like, okay.
Right. So, like, no parents in the picture, no one that, like, loved you and cared about you and, like, raised you and gave you a name?
No.
That's unfortunate. So, Morgana was all about, like, Arthur and betrayal and Merlin, and what's your whole shtick, like, what's making you want to destroy the world?
Well, I want to see my monsters rise and the world before it destroyed. See, there has to be, like, a balance to things, right? So, for me, it's like, I want to bring up these horrible monsters, but with that, you have to destroy something, right? So in order for my monster to exist, other things have to die. So that's kind of like my sort of ideology going on there, my theology, sort of that kind of a deal. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like chemistry class, like conservation of matter and everything?
I don't know anything about chemistry. I just I put creepy heads on weird bodies, and then I send it out into the world, and they destroy things, and it's pretty good.
So you're like a 3-year-old that plays with those animal block puzzles.
I don't know, maybe, I don't know what you're talking about.
So, we've already gotten the whole thing of like, oh, we can't do anything to stop this, and we're indentured slaves to you guys, because apparently slave labor is okay again. So what do you want us to bring you?
Well, I want to assume real quick, you're my champion, right?
Unfortunately.
Okay. I'd actually like to have a chat with you. I sort of want to kind of, like, get to know you a bit, kind of see what you're about, and that way we can kind of figure out what kind of army we're gonna raise for the end of the world.
I get a say in the army?
Well, you know, like, I understand that, you guys have been forced into this kind of prophecy. I know the 5 of us kind of enacted it, and now the 5 of you have been brought in, though, you do seem kind of, like, pretty unhappy about it, which, I mean, to each its own, but you're here now, so I just kind of want to, like, get to know you. That way when we're creating these things, it's kind of like we're working together.
Alright. I'll treat this as a negotiation. You seem slightly more intelligent than the first one we had to deal with, so I'll give you a chance.
Cool. So, by the way, hi guys, nice to meet the rest of you. Morgana, you're here. So...
It's not just me!
Well, what would you like us to call you?
You can call me whatever you want.
Do you have a preferred name? Do you have preferred pronouns? Do you have any preference for anything?
I don't really feel like I connect to any sort of gender, so I feel like any pronouns are kind of acceptable. So you can kind of just use whatever pronouns you want. As for, like, name, I mean, for me, I'm sort of like, I'm a monster from beginning of time, right? So I'm kind of one of the first here. This is kind of my role to bring in more monsters. So with that, you don't really get a name, right? You don't get anyone raising you up. You don't get anyone saying, go on, champ, I wish you all the best of luck in your destruction, right? And I try to foster that with my monsters out there. So it's sort of a deal of I don't have anything and I don't really care because I'm here to do my business.
Okay. Shall I call you the first original evil monster?
Well, I'm not the first. There's a few of us, right? That's kind of how these things work. There's a few of us. You can't just have one.
Okay. I'm going to call you Shifty.
Shifty?
Yes, because you're kind of going into different forms. I feel like you're, like, shifting. So, Shifty, what do you think? I think it has a nice ring. Shifty.
I mean, personally, I don't really care.
Alright, then I dub you Shifty.
I was sort of thinking the amalgamation.
Ooh.
That could work.
Sounds very supervillain.
Well, I mean, look at him, like, it feels like you're the embodiment of that word.
See,
I mean, certainly, you can really, like, if you want to call me Shifty, you can call me Shifty. I'm not going to tell you not to do that. I've given you the option to call me whatever you want. If you want to call me Amalgamation, that's your right to do so.
see, I was kind of thinking the Monster Mash, because not only are you a mash of monsters, but you also mash monsters together, and I think that's fair.
Fred, you know what? Can I just say, Fred, you know what you did, and no.
I like it. I think it sounds
I
great,
had
Fred.
it together until I heard Ashley laugh, and then I couldn't laugh.
It's the Monster Mash.
Good.
It's the Monster
No,
Mash. I don't know what else
no.
you expect, Oko.
No. You know what? No.
That song
just
technically
no.
exists.
Just N-O. No.
Well, why don't we debate names later? As they can be ever-changing.
Like his face.
Sure, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like his face. Very, very good observation, Sticks.
Beautiful. I have one more observation. One more very important thing. I need a new arm.
Right, you were talking about that. Okay, so... Right, we need to get a body. That's for sure. Now, I don't exactly manifest them, right? Like, I take pre-existing bodies. So I know you were kind of coming to me for that, but we're going to need to find a body.
Yes, and something preferably with my structure would be lovely. So then it just like pops right in and it fits, and we got to do it before sunrise, because otherwise we're just going to have a whole bunch of saws that we don't want that. So let's do it soonish.
I mean, alright, so let's try and get that done. So... I don't know what anyone want to come along? I mean, I actually, if you're gonna be dealing with that, I'd really appreciate if my champion could just, like, maybe we can have, like, a one-on-one session while you guys go do that.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Go
I
for
prefer
it.
him over you anyways.
I really hate you. Like, I've really tried here. And you've just struck the last nerve.
Oh no.
I think, Morgana, you just need to understand, from what I heard about you as a teenager, you were angsty and angry, and I'm probably just like you at that age. But see, the problem is, you were difficult to other people, so now this is karma coming back around in the form of me being difficult to you. And maybe one day I'll turn out as a slightly better version of you.
You know,
We're
Annabelle,
gonna go before I find a way to kill you. Let us go, children.
Annabelle, that was surprisingly self-aware of you.
I try. Sometimes. I have my moments.
It just feels
don't
awkward
even know.
now, so I don't really know what we're supposed to do.
I think we should go. I feel
Yes.
like
Let's get you
Annabelle's
a new
kind of
arm,
in a
Sticks.
mood.
Please, I have so much, like, ribbons of color, and it's going to destroy my arm eventually. I don't want it.
Alright, well, how about you guys direct me to, I don't know where there's any bodies.
We have a
And then
cemetery.
Alright.
Excuse me?
We do. It exists.
Yeah, there's one cemetery on this island.
Yes. Shall
One
we venture
Samuel
forth?
runs.
Shall we venture forth?
No.
I think so, because we can just replace it, and it's not going to do anything once it's detached, because it's just a dead arm.
Excuse me?
My arm is dead. And so are the other arms in the cemetery, so it just seems like the most logical way to go about this.
Yeah, those are bodies that have been laid to rest.
I'm
And
going
should
to be
not
laid
be
to
Yeah, and
rest.
I'm
deserved.
gonna...
Should not be disturbed at all.
But if I'm not getting this done, I'm going to be laid to rest. So,
You're not going near that cemetery.
right. We have some conflict now. This is going to be a problem, Oko.
Yeah, it is. Because if you go near that cemetery, I won't hold back.
I mean,
Really?
you guys could always go to that river where the guy on the boat was, if, you know, he didn't make it. It's gruesome, but it's not the cemetery. We're all about compromises.
Is that viable? Can we go into the water?
I mean, like, if I can sense a body around, I can just pop it out.
Alright, we can do that. That's a good compromise.
Wonderful. And, you know, if we use his arm, then his arm will be free from the boat forever. And I think that's really what he would have wanted. And that's how we respect the dead, isn't it, Oko?
Yes, I agree.
Are you trying to push me?
I'm sorry.
No, not at all.
Oko, did you want me to just not get us out of that horrible place? Like, Nimue was really kind of getting, questionable dealings down there. And this was the way that I could help us. And so I think that you should not push me as well. I'm freaking out. My arm is going to be destroyed. I don't like this situation. And we need to go and get me a fresh limb.
Listen, Styx, I get that maybe Nimue didn't give you as much attention as she did to me and Fred, but she was still really great. Like, she gave you a couple days, at least, so, it's not a huge rush.
I don't
couple days
want her to destroy my arm!
I guess, but, it's also kind of your fault that you made that deal in the first place. She was willing to bargain. You're the one that decided to give up your arm for it.
I said that because otherwise the rest of you would have gotten murdered.
She wouldn't murder us. She was so friendly.
Right. Do you want something to eat? I have a granola bar. I have what did we call them? A
Nice
goodness
bars.
bar? A nice bar. A goodness bar.
Why are you offering me food? What did you do to it?
I didn't do anything to this.
Isn't it packaged? I don't think she could,
Fine. I'll look at the packaging, and then I'll also check if it's vegetarian, and if it is, I'll eat it.
Oh, it's absolutely. It's the raspberry and dark chocolate kind.
Well, I guess I'll take it. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Really weird time.
It's never a bad time for a goodness bar.
Do we want to get the body, or are we just gonna sit here eating nice bars?
Yes, let's go and get the body, please.
Okay. Alright, kids, lead the way. I haven't left this cave except for tonight.
Okay. Do I remember how to get back to the boat? Yeah.
I'll give them the map, actually, because I have it. I will hand the map to Fred before they leave.
Perfect. Hey, Annabelle, if you find out this guy's real actual name, you should let us know. Otherwise, I'm sticking with the Monster Mash, and there's nothing Oko can do to stop me.
I commend you and cringe at the same time. But yes, I will let you know.
All right.
Fucking brilliant Monster Mash.
And I will eat the kind bar.
Okay. So you eat this bar. I don't remember if I made Fred roll for this or not.
Yes, you did.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So make a... What was it, a wisdom saving throw or a wisdom saving throw?
Okay. Math. That's 12.
I mean, it's a good bar. Nimue's still pretty nice.
Okay.
I think her food was better, actually.
Well, I'll eat it still, but...
Mm-hmm. Of course, of course. So you guys kind of head off in your separate ways. We'll kind of do two groups here. So let's do the the Fisher King group. Let's head to... Oh god. So you guys are heading out at night. Or I guess it's kind of like the AMs at the moment. In a couple hours the sun is going to rise. But it's still night. So that means you are venturing into the forest at night, which means I'm going to roll some luck checks.
Ooh, boy.
Oko wouldn't let me go to the cemetery, so this is on you.
You guys are lucky. These were my dice I was rolling all day, so...
Perfect.
Listen, guys, the trick to making sure your dice always roll well is to just never stop rolling them.
It works all the time for you, so...
They were all really good. It was like a 16, 15, and 19.
Oh my god. Guess that's a good thing for us, though.
Yeah, appreciate it, you know? Listen, it always benefits, right?
Eventually. Depending.
Eventually.
Today is a good day.
So you guys head out to the river that you had last seen the Fisher King as he went down into the deep below. He was free from the boat. But you head out that way. There are some moments where you are having to sort of duck away, but having Morgana with you, this very powerful spellcaster, she just sort of swats them away. She's like, lizard, nope, thank you, out of my way. So you guys have no trouble, and you are able to make it to the river.
So, Morgana, do you...
Alright, so
Oh, yes.
where exactly is the body?
Somewhere
in
in
the-
the river.
Yeah. What Stick said.
Probably at the
Do you have
bottom.
like, I mean, it's a river. Do you have like, okay, but do you have like an area?
Yes, we do. We know where the boat was. Would like to show you where the boat was.
Cool, certainly. Alright, so I'll just do like a radius sort of area just to make sure that like I'm making sure I'm getting him in there. So, alright. And she starts to cast the spell, and as she does, you see a body rise out of the river on one end, and you see another body rise out of the river on the other end.
Oh my.
Oh, corpses. Fantastic.
Does anyone else remember, like, the two guys in the boat?
No?
Do they look different?
You can't tell, it's the middle of the night.
Morgana, would you please be a very amazing dear and, reel them in?
Oh, okay. Give me a sec. And she kind of, with one kind of spectral hand grabs a body and brings it over, and then another spectral hand brings the other over. And now you got two bodies.
Do they look different?
Well-
Like, is one of them's like the Fisher King and one of them's like, who?
Roll a perception check. And anyone else that would like to look. If you don't have dark vision, then you do need to roll a with disadvantage.
I do have dark vision. I got a 5.
I got a 17.
I got a 7.
Yeah.
All right, so Oko, you definitely recognize one of them as the Fisher King. You two both as well. I mean, you saw the Fisher King not that long ago. He's a pretty old dude. So there's two men here. There is a very old man, which Oko you definitely recognize as the Fisher King, and there is sort of a not quite middle-aged man with very broad shoulders. He definitely looks a lot more dead than the Fisher King.
Does he look familiar?
Roll a history check.
Oh, you know I love history. 9.
9. You definitely, it's not clicking in your brain. You definitely don't know this person, or at least you don't recognize them. Like I said, the body is a lot more older. It's a lot more deteriorated. But also with your perception check, you would notice that there's something a little more odd about this body. It seems almost hollow at this point. It almost seems just like a husk of its previous life.
Oh, jeez.
DM, can I ask a question really quick?
Mm-hmm.
How does the replaceable limbs work exactly? So do I just, it's like any viable limb, right? So if I just detach my arm and I can just pop another one on and it'll just fit, it'll work?
Let me just quickly pull up the race real quick. So the way that your replaceable limbs work, so it says you may restore a limb if you lose/destroy it by finding a suitable replacement and then using an action to reattach it. So you do have to find a suitable replacement. It has to be able to fit. Obviously, it has to be humanoid, etc. It's going to have to be similar. It doesn't have to be exact. It can be maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit shorter, but just be aware that you are replacing a limb, right? Mm-hmm. It's going to look the same when you are kind of in your emaciated state, but it might be a little shorter, it might be a little longer, depending on which one you take.
Which one looks like, can I do like an investigation or something to see which one looks like it's better suited for my body?
You don't have to do that. The Fisher Kings is probably going to be a lot better. The other person is quite, like I said, they're quite big, they're broad, so their arms are a lot thicker and a lot bigger. So if you're going to stick to one, the Fisher Kings is probably going to be best, though it is just a little bit longer.
Like, significantly, like, it's going to be, like, noticeable, or it's, like, fine?
If someone looks, they might notice it, but probably in passing, no one's going to notice it.
Cool. Okay, does it, like, take on my characteristics other than the length difference, but like it turns into completely my arm?
So in the daylight it is going to look like your arm. At night it's still going to look like the same bone.
Okay, but I have complete control over it and becomes mine.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so I adopted as part of my body. I just wanted to make sure that he couldn't like strangle me because the essence of his spirit is still, like, in this arm. It can't be, like, used against me. Cool.
Free me from the board!
Okay, cool. I'm gonna take... We didn't say which hand we shook with. Can we say that it was the left hand? Because we didn't specify during
are you
the time.
left or are you right-handed?
It
would probably be your right hand, because you shake with your right hand.
Right. Okay. Sure. Then I would like to procure his right arm all the way up to the shoulder socket bone.
Alright, you can certainly do that. You have Morgana there to definitely help you. This is not her first rodeo with damn arms, of course.
Nope.
You can definitely take it and use an action. This isn't combat, so you can definitely just attach it there.
Cool. So I got the Fisher
Now you got a new arm. It's a little bit longer, but you got a new arm.
And it can't be destroyed.
It's always going to be free from the boat.
Yeah, he will.
It technically can be destroyed, but, like, possibly not from, whatever thing you did with Nimue.
What do you mean, possibly? It's on my other arm, so it's on my arm. And
I'm not gonna tell you yes or no.
Oh, no. You know what? I'm going to keep my my original arm. I'm going to keep it in my backpack.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Fun.
Cool. Alright, so you stick your arm in your backpack.
Yes, I do.
That's cool. Anything else you're doing here at the river?
Does the like gold, like the light from the arm that is like did it go onto my arm when I attached the Fisher King's arm, or is it staying on the other arm?
It's staying on the other arm.
Beautiful.
For now.
Okay.
You're kind of evil, Ashley.
Well, I mean, it's my job. What do you want me to do?
Oh.
What? Well, hold on. Let's just take a break here to remember how much you guys have been bullying me and my NPCs. And as soon as I say something like a little mysterious, you're like, oh, what a evil villain she is, huh?
As a form
Let
of
me
defense,
just say
wait,
for
I want to say something first.
go
Sorry.
on.
You knew I was making a sassy character. I drove it by you, and you were like, yeah, you might want to make it a little extra sassy, but, like, it's good. You knew what you were signing up for with me, at least.
Well, yes, yeah, okay.
Also,
Everybody else has to make an excuse.
I just like to say I never bullied at all. I was kind.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, but I like bullying you.
You like bullying me?
Yeah, that's why it's...
Oh, you're gonna regret that.
I am, because you're my DM in a few months. What were you gonna say, Kai?
Oh, I was just gonna say that's just the life of a DM.
Yeah. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna pick on you, Austin. Take that.
Good fucking luck.
Oh boy.
I don't know, is it? So let's... Awesome. So, is there anything else you guys are doing?
Sticks? Is that it? Like, is the arms all swapped? You're good? Nimue should, not actually rob you of having a right hand?
I sure hope so. We'll find out. This one's quite nice, and I do a little, one arm wave kind of thing, Like, I don't go for the full wave with the other arm, but just the one. And, I test it out. How does it feel?
It feels fine. It's a little weird at first because this isn't your arm. You're not used to the length of it. And you're not used to, the joints are a little stiffer at the moment. It's not the same. So it's a little weird at first.
It's kind of weird, but, I'll get used to it.
Do you want to try a high five?
Yes. Ready?
All right, I high five Sticks' new arm. Okay.
Roll for high five.
Roll for high five?
Oh my god, roll for high five.
What stat is this?
Sleight of high five.
Sleight of high five? Natural 20!
Oh.
Oh.
You high-fived the arm off.
I got a 14. How's that?
Okay. I love how every time I've asked for a roll for high five, there's been nat 20s, because you, Sam, got the nat 20 to high five the,
I know.
what's it called?
The Sphinx.
Why is... The Sphinx. Yeah, you high-fived the Sphinx in season 1.
I know.
I love that. Okay. You guys have a crisp high five. Just so good. It feels like there's a little tingly sensation afterwards, and it's just like, ooh, that was a good high five.
That was a very crisp
That's
high
a
five.
good high-fiving arm, Sticks.
Yes. That was very, very crisp. Very, very good. Like a fresh Granny Smith apple.
Sure, let's go with that.
Amazing. Who's that body over there? We should maybe check if he's got anything in his pockets or something of that nature.
I don't know if you should touch it. Like, it looks wrong.
Yes.
I agree
Morgana.
with Oko.
Morgana, do you know who this is?
Listen, Sticks, you're, really fun to hang out with, but, I don't know how I would know this person.
I just wanted to know. That's
Okay.
fine. Okay, we won't touch him.
Okay. Well, you have a new arm.
Yay, I have a new arm. My appendages have been retrieved.
Fantastic.
Oh,
Ari!
I want to go back. Maybe. Oh,
Yes.
what?
Ari, will you hold my hand now so we can christen it? It must be anointed with our friendship.
No.
But you have to.
That was a one-time thing, and I didn't have a choice. So
Dix, if Ari doesn't want to hold your old man hand, I don't blame them.
It's not an old man hand anymore, it's my hand, so it doesn't count, okay?
I grab her hand for like 2 seconds and then let go.
Thank
Happy?
you. Yes, thank you.
Good. Can we get back?
So you guys are heading back to the cave?
So.
All right. So you leave. All right. And you head back to the cave. Now, while you guys were doing this, in the cave, what would you like to call what would you like to call him, Annabelle?
Oh, the pressure of naming him. Let's see.
Oh, sorry, you cut out for me?
Oh, sorry. How about Gladius?
Gladius. Adding that to what's the day? Yeah, so I have Stick, Shifty, Elko the Amalgamation, Fred the Monster Mash, and Annabelle Gladius.
More like Sadius.
Oh boy. That's so cringy.
I know, it's perfect.
So, how about we leave the cave, we go find a nice place to sit, kind of get a vibe. You know, I actually haven't been here before in a really long time, at least to this plane. Normally I'm on like another, doing my business. Don't tell Morgana she was the only one asleep.
Really? Okay. I didn't like you at first, but I'm now very interested in this. So let's go find somewhere to sit so you can tell me all about how Morgana was left out.
Yeah, sure, that we can definitely do that. You guys head outside the cave and you find, a pretty nice place to sit. It's very nice and peaceful. Can you roll me a perception check, please?
Sure. Oh boy, I have an idea of what this is. Oh no. Okay, what's my bonus? 1 second. Perception 13.
Okay. You definitely notice that, like, squirrels and anything moving about at night is seeing this guy and running. They are very fearful of whatever this creature is. But you guys find a nice place to sit. He's, like, huge compared to you as well. Like, he's just massive. You, like, sit down and kind of looking up. It's pretty nice place, huh? Very nice.
It is. That's part of my reluctance about, the whole destroy the world and stuff. I'm kind of attached to this island.
What kind of about this island really draws you to it?
Well, okay, I'm doing this not because I like you, but because I'm treating this as a negotiation. It's the being of the island, really, is what's gotten me attached to it. And there's this really cute little creature I met. At first it was a dream. It was kind of part of the same dream that I had when I saw you doing something. But then afterwards it was like, I met this cute little tree guy, and he's just so adorable and so sweet, and I don't know, I've gotten attached.
Yeah, no, I can totally understand that and totally appreciate where you're coming from. You gotta understand that, my nature is to create and destroy, right? That's kind of like my deal here.
Right.
So, if you're really attached to this little guy, definitely keep him around. It's alright. We can keep him for you. So, definitely that we can work out the logistics of that and making sure that little guy's okay. But we just gotta. So it's sort of the being of the island. The island itself. What kind of? I'm assuming it's sort of just all of the island.
Yeah, like it's weird because like I was never really interested in the island. I was never really interested in much, honestly. I've been kind of directionless for a long time. My parents don't really help with that. So since I'm now in grade 12, our final year, I'm supposed to, pick a career for the rest of my life and then get married and become the mayor's wife and I don't know, whatever else I'm supposed to do, wash his dirty laundry or something gross. So as an act of rebellion, I decided I was going to go and become a druid, something that my parents are totally against. And Willow, she's super nice and I really like her. She's the one teaching me to look after the island. And we were out and something attacked her, almost attacked us. And she was like, you have to channel the island and, like, they'll maybe help. And I was kind of like, what are you talking about? Like, we're in the middle of the woods. Like, you gave me a stick from the ground. Like, what's going to happen? I'm going to go, ooh, ooh, and suddenly something's going to happen. And then that kind of actually did. And she was sort of right. Which was really strange. But, it's kind of cool. But I
Gladius.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You finish.
But, like, I'm not really sure if the island actually likes me or if it just, like, did it to help, like, Willow because it really likes Willow. And Willow was like, oh, wow, you're doing so much better than, like, I did when I was young. And it's like, yeah, but am I? Or did it just use me as a vessel to help her because it likes her and it just thinks I'm a little brat?
Listen, you definitely seem to have a pretty complicated life for such a young kid. I mean, that's totally unfair to you, right? Like, your parents have way too many expectations on you. That's just not okay. When I'm creating my little monsters, I just want them to go out and do their thing. Just follow their dreams. Some of them really like spitting fire, right?
Right.
I'm not gonna tell them, no, you gotta go spit some cold frost, all that. That's not what he wants to do. He wants to go spit some fire. So he's gonna go spit some fire. So really, what they're doing to you, not fair. And act of rebellion, pretty cool. I definitely applaud you on that. And, this whole sort of situation with the island, listen, Annabelle, I'm gonna be here for you, That's sort of my job. I want to work with you to bring about the end of days. I'm gonna be here for you, and we're gonna work together to do that. And once it's all said and done, I'm not just gonna throw you out the door and say goodbye. You did your purpose. We're gonna keep working together. So really, if you need any sort of like guidance or anything like that, I'm gonna be here to listen. I'm gonna be here to offer my advice. Now about the island and being unsure, the island says no. You have me. I'm gonna be here to have your back.
Okay. See, I was a little skeptical of you at first, like, sort of off-putting, and I have to admit, Morgana didn't totally know what was going on, so she kind of just came in and was like, oh, did the messenger not tell you everything important you needed to know about this? And we were like, no. And she's like, well, great, I don't know it either. Go find these things. You're now indentured to us. So, it really kind of put us off on the wrong foot, but it seems like you know more. And my sarcasm doesn't seem to be affecting you, which I'm not really sure what to do about because most people, I just kind of put them off by being sarcastic and mean, but you seem to take everything I say very literally, which leaves me at a disadvantage, and I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to deal with you yet. But you seem sincere, so I'll give you a chance, I guess.
Listen, I'm not being dishonest with you in any sort of way. I'm being very upfront. I want to destroy the world. And I understand that's hard for you guys to sort of understand. You were supposed to be told quite a bit before we arrived, but clearly I saw through how aggressive you were when I first arrived that didn't happen, right? That's not your fault.
We weren't really prepped. It's like we were on a school trip, and then Willow got hit over the head, and she got us into a cave because there was an earthquake, and then it was suddenly like, hey, by the way, instead of a midnight assignment, you're now destroying the world. And you know, I'm not really that attached to the world. I just didn't like Morgana. Like, you know when you have to make a stand, but you don't make a stand because you necessarily disagree? You're just making a stand because you really don't like the other person? That's sort of what I was doing. Like, if you're willing to debate on a couple things that maybe get preserved instead of destroyed, then I'm more okay with this.
I mean, you got a lot on your plate, and, I mean, definitely not being told what's going on, that's gotta be weird. I am definitely gonna look into it. Have you heard from the servant at all? Like, anything like that?
No, I have not met another person. Like, I mean, I have a servant at home, but I don't think they're the servant you're talking about.
No, it's like a specific person.
No, we haven't had anyone come up to us and be like, oh, hey, here's a message, or anything, really. We were just told that if we told anyone what we were doing, that they'd potentially get harmed, or would hate us forever.
Alright, I understand. So, definitely, I'll look into the servant. Alright, I'm gonna do that for you guys. We're gonna make sure we get this sorted. As for Morgana, so we just kind of needed, like, a fifth person, and that's kind of why she's here. So, she's very talented sorceress, right? I'm not gonna discredit her on that. It's just, she's really prideful and stubborn, so one of the other people, like, sort of just knocked her out, and then we, like, put her to sleep until everyone else was sort of here, so,
Right.
we didn't tell her too much. We were just like, you can get revenge on Arthur, and she was, like, sick, so
Yeah,
it's great.
when she explained, that's sort of how it came across, which is part of the reason that I didn't totally like her, because it's like, okay, you're telling me what to do, but you don't even know what's going on, so, like, why should I listen to you? Like,
Listen, she has the things that she wanted, done, right? You guys, were destroying those objects for her.
yeah.
So those things are said and done. What she wanted is fulfilled. So you really just don't have to deal with her at all. Like, if she's not bringing any purpose to your life, she's not your mentor. She's not your council member. You don't gotta listen to her. You can listen to me.
Well, I think that's gonna be a much better start, because it's hard being mean all the time. I know that the rest of the people in my group are like, oh wow, Annabelle just like wakes up and eats like I don't know, instead of like happy O's, like mean O's every morning, and like that's just how she is. But like, it's effort. It's like a lot of work to be sassy and rude all the time.
Have you ever just thought about telling them how you feel, letting them know, your home life isn't great at the moment? And that's sort of just, this isn't an excuse, it's just a reason as to why you're acting this way. And you don't want to, do you want to be this way?
No, like, okay, so this is a secret, and only Fred knows this, so you can't tell anyone. Do you swear?
Alright, I swear, I swear.
I'll, like, put out my hand. It's like, shake on it.
Oh shit. It's sort of like he's having like a really hard time making sure it's like some sort of object for you to shake, but eventually you do shake like a shark fin.
Cool.
And then it turns into like a hoof. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm really concentrating.
I really appreciate it. So, what happened was I told my parents I was going vegetarian, and I told them I wasn't going to marry Fred, and they kind of blew up. and like it was a really big problem, and my mom like took all my clothes that she didn't like, and it really sucked. So then it's like I pretended to apologize and be like, oh yeah, you're right, Mom, like I'm still gonna be vegetarian, but I'll listen to what you say because obviously you know best. So I'm just waiting to graduate, and then I'm gonna move out, and I'm gonna eat salad every single day. There's never gonna be a slice of meat in my house. And it's like, I'm gonna just live by myself, and I'm gonna like work looking after the island, and I'll just live in the woods so my parents can never find me, and it's gonna be like super great. So I don't like being mean. It's just like having to keep up appearances, you know, because my parents want me to be like mean, or like not mean, but they want me to be superior. Because apparently our great-great-grandfather or something was so great, so of course we have to be great, and keeping up appearances.
Listen, you know, you aren't your parents. You absolutely don't have to be them. You are your own person. I mean, I can't say that there's going to be much of an island left, possibly by the time you graduate, but I'm here to help you. We can't, I mean, you want to live in the woods? I'll make you a cool, awesome-looking woods, alright?
Okay.
We could build you a hut in there, or like a castle, or a tower, or anything you want. We're gonna do it. That's what you want, that's what we're gonna do.
See, like, you're just like a nice sort of evil version of Willow, kind of, which is really strange, but very comforting at the same time. 'Cause it's like, you're very supportive. And I don't have supportive people in my life, really. Which makes me slightly uncomfortable. But I will try not to be very mean to you. And I will try to help you.
And I really appreciate that. I understand you're going through a rough time, so you end up spitting something out. Just apologize and we'll move on, you know? So really just take it one step at a time, and I really encourage you to share your feelings with your friends, because I think that's just gonna help a lot of things in the end. I mean, they think you're mean and you don't want to be mean, so maybe just take the time, let them know what's going on.
Yeah, I guess I should do that. It's just, see, like, Fred knows the plan, because it's like, it was never the plan for us to get together. Like, I see him as a brother, and that's just really gross. So, like, it's kind of like a, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Like, I cover for him so his mom doesn't get mad at me, and, like, he covers for me so my mom doesn't get mad at me. But, like, I feel like Oko's gonna have a problem with me. And, like, I don't really know what to do about that. 'Cause, like,
Well, why does he have a problem with you?
Well, because I've been really mean to Morgana, and he thinks that I'm just, like, a really mean person. And
But that's what I'm saying, Annabelle. You gotta tell him what's going on. Again, it's not an excuse. It's just a reason. You gotta let him know that, you know, my life is really rough at home. I know there's just a lot on me, and I just end up deflecting that on you guys. And, you know, I just hope you understand that I'm trying to be a better person. So I'm hoping you can give me that opportunity to do so.
I guess so. Like, I think everyone else will be like, oh, it's okay, Annabelle, or, like, some variation of that. But, like, what if Oko doesn't like me? Like, okay, I want to say I don't care, but I do care, because he's the one that's the nicest in the group. And so it's like, I want to be like him because I want people to like me, not because of, like, who I am and who my family is, but, like, actually like me and not be, like, backstabbing friends. So it's like, do I just tell him and then just wait for him to warm up to me? Or do, like, I got him fishy crackers because I was mean. Do I just need to, like, keep bringing him fishy crackers?
Annabelle, forgiveness has to be earned. He's got to see the change, right? And you've been very mean, and he's just gotta... He might take longer. That's all it is. And you might not ever get his forgiveness, but at least you're trying. And that's all that matters. You gotta focus on yourself. And if other people don't like it, that's not their problem. You're focusing on yourself.
Okay. I mean, that's That sort of makes sense. I will try that. I've been talking a lot about myself, and I usually don't talk this much, so maybe I can ask you a question. What types of names did you get? Like, was it like the typical, like, did people call you a monster? Or like...
Yeah, no, that was a big one. I mean, I don't come to this plane all that often. I sort of just stick to my own, and then sort of just release my creatures off, but, I mean, I've had definitely, like, sometimes people call me the mother of monsters, that's one. There's monster, of course, mostly just things to do with monster, or, something terrible in there. It's just a lot of different things. I try not to keep track of too much of it, because I know who I am, I know what I do, this is all I've ever been, and, you know, people don't like it, that's their issue. I'm just being me.
Yeah, totally. You said that, like, you don't actually come here often. Do you have, like, your own plane that you made or, like, live on? Like, do you have, like, a home plane, or do you have, like, a home? Or, like, do you kind of just shift around and create stuff?
I kind of have, like, a base of operations in a chaos plane. It's been really fun there. So I mostly just kind of have this sort of stable, sort of base that I have, and I just kind of... I mean, really the only person I talk to is my sister, so, like, that's basically it.
Cool. So, that's kind of neat. So you said that you didn't have parents, but you have, like, a sister. Is she at least supportive of you?
She's really clever. I get kind of worried about some of the things she's up to, because she's, again, very clever, and I'm just very straightforward. But, she's actually the one that put this all together. She's one of the original monsters as well, so, that's sort of, I mean, she seems pretty supportive. I just kind of do what I do. She doesn't tell me no or anything like that.
Well, that's good. It's good to have someone that can support you. So are we gonna meet her eventually then, if she put this all together? Does she kind of change like you do too?
No, she's a different type of monster. I'm this way because I'm here to create more monsters, so it's sort of like a little bit of a reflection of who I am. She's different. You guys will probably meet her. Not sure when.
Cool. Okay, well, I mean, you listen to me talk, and the nice thing would be for me to listen to you talk if you want to share anything else.
No, just basically what I'm gonna need you to do is, I'm gonna create some monsters, and I just kind of need your support there. I'm gonna make some things that I think are gonna kind of match both of our ideas of both monster, and you said you like the island. We'll make it a little foresty, a little more naturey,
Okay.
That's just kind of the idea there.
Yeah, like, I know that you said that, like, the island will probably be destroyed in the end, but, like, maybe if we could make something that, like, won't completely destroy the ecosystem. Like, you said that you put animals together. So we could, like, pick some animals from around the island, maybe, and, like, take some inspiration, however you do this, and, like, put them together.
Yeah, that's definitely an idea that we can experiment with.
Cool. Well, it was surprisingly nice to talk with you.
No, you as well. Why don't we go back and we wait for the others? How about that?
That sounds good. I hope Styx found her arm. I don't really like the idea of, like, taking from the cemetery, since, like, it's our history and it's become part of the island, but, like, hopefully the Fisher King's arm fits her.
Yeah, hopefully. Alright, let's head back. And you guys all head back at the cave. Eventually you are all in there together, and it's getting pretty early. Like, you guys have been up all night, which means you're going to take a point of exhaustion. Or no, you actually had a short rest, so never mind, you don't get a point of exhaustion. But you are pretty tired. You've been up most of the night.
Okay. So, did the arm thing work out?
Oh yes, it went absolutely swimmingly.
That's good. Did you guys run into any problems, or were you okay? I mean, Morgana was with you, and she's obviously strong and stuff.
Just an extra corpse. That was kind of the only weird thing out there. But the Fisher King's arm, it feels kind of weird, but it fits. It's alright. It's a bit longer than mine was.
Right. So you mentioned extra corpse?
Yeah, two for the price of one.
I got a little snagged on that part. Whose was it? Like, there's not that many people on the island, so if someone... yeah. Anyways. Maybe we should tell someone about it.
Yes, I kind of had a hypothesis, but I don't know. And I have no idea.
Okay.
But we could test it. Maybe.
I
was thinking, because, sometimes logic hits me every once in a while, not often, but my brain, she worked today. And I think maybe, what if that guy is the messenger? Because we never got him. And we were supposed to get a messenger. And then there was just an extra corpse. It looked kind of weird. But I have no clue.
So you're saying the messenger just fell into a river on his way to deliver the message to us?
Anything could happen. We're destroying the world, so who knows?
I
Touche.
mean, in some ways, that's incredibly astute, Styx.
Did you give me a compliment?
Yes.
Thank you.
It's
I'm
not a
going
big
to write
deal.
you a lovely poem.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
So, me and Gladius, we sat down and talked, and it doesn't seem like he requires us to go find too much for him. Is that right? I'll kind of look back at him.
No, if you can just bring me some things that, say, like, I don't know, you find, like, a spooky-looking tree, I can certainly turn that into a monster. You see an animal you like, I'll turn it into a monster. We're just gonna go find some things and make them freaky.
Okay. Oh, we can...
I think I like you.
Definitely do that. He's pretty cool, actually.
Can I write you a poem that turned that into a monster? I can write some pretty dark stuff.
I really appreciate you want to take the time and write me a poem. I'd absolutely love to hear it.
Okay, I'll get started tonight when I get home. I'm so excited. Oh,
Yeah.
Somebody wants me to write them a poem. Guys, this is a big deal.
Speaking of home, we should probably start headed home since the night's up and we've been up for a long time. And yeah, like we were out all night, and then we were with Nimue, and even though she's so much fun, I'm kind of tired after everything. So maybe we can bring you some cool freaky stuff tomorrow or in a couple days, Gladius.
You take your time. Listen, we actually have an ability to talk between one another, right? So, you find something,
Really?
you just... Oh, yeah.
When did this happen? Or I guess I wouldn't know because you're now my champion. Styx, did you know this?
Yeah, I mean, Morgana talked through me, just today, so I feel like it kind of makes sense.
I mean, it adds up, but I feel like there should have been a disclaimer about, hey, by the way, psychic link, just give me a holler.
That makes sense, too, because when she cut herself, it cut my bones, and then she hijacked my body entirely,
guess
actually.
so.
She did the, like, we poofed back here, so I feel like I was comfortable in that knowledge, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you a shout, I guess, if I find something interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Just let me know. And make sure you let me know about that little guy, okay? We'll make sure we don't mess with him, alright?
All right. Thank you, Gladius. I have one quick question though. Now that I know that you can like talk to me, does that mean that like if I think of something, you could guess it cuz you could read my brain?
I mean, I don't really want to pry on your privacy. Those are your private thoughts, but if you do ask me to guess what you're thinking of, I will absolutely do it.
That's so cool. I mean, I totally appreciate the privacy thing, but that's really really cool.
Hey,
Right.
what am I thinking of?
Can I tell?
Roll roll a wisdom, just a flat wisdom
Okay.
with advantage.
With advantage. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Oh, that is horrible, but my first roll was a 1, so know what? Anything more than a 1, that's a 6.
You're way too excited at the moment to even think.
I don't even think I can focus. Can we try this again later when I'm less excited about this and I'll try to focus and we can guess animals?
Absolutely. Let's absolutely do it. You guys, you go home, you take a rest, come on by whenever you're feeling up for it, and we'll go out and we'll go make some freaky monsters. How about that, kids?
That sounds
Sounds
lovely. I would
good.
also... Can I read Morgana's thoughts? I've never tried.
Roll a wisdom check with advantage.
That's so much fun. Okay. Wisdom is 14.
14. You think really, really hard about it, and just this voice in your head is like, grape juice boxes are, I mean, how did they come up with this? Grapefruit, grape juice boxes. How did they come up with this? This is just crazy. I mean, oh, look at that. That rock on the wall looks like a face. And just silence.
Oh my gosh, guys, I've rubbed off on her. She's thinking about grape juice boxes. I'm so proud of myself.
Oh, sorry. I'm here.
I just love that we've bonded over grape juice boxes. They're quite the best thing in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
We can't destroy them even when we get rid of everything else. We gotta keep the grape juice boxes.
Alright, definitely. Alright, we keep that in mind, alright? And sort of pointing to Shifty, Amalgamation, Monster Mash, and Gladius. It's like, we're keeping the grape juice boxes, alright? They're so good. Can you bring him one? Can we, he needs to try it.
Can you consume?
Oh, I can definitely try and hope that it stays.
Alright, we'll just squirt it. Oh, I bring a water gun and just, shoot it right into your mouth. It's gonna be great.
Sounds good. I'm here for it. Yeah.
I love
Styx,
this.
is that still a grape juice box or is that a grape juice gun?
Why not both? It's a grape juice cannon!
I feel like we're upgrading from the Tetra Packs to now a super soaker with just one of those 1 liter jugs of grape juice.
Oh my gosh, I need one. Guys, we gotta go to the dollar store.
Yeah, I mean, I only went to the grocery store for the first time last week. So, I'm happy to try going in there again. It's really weird how they have all the food out on the counters and stuff, and then you just grab it and you bring it up to the front. It's interesting.
Yeah. Amazing. Alright, shall we venture forth to home?
Sounds like a plan to
Please.
me. I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
So,
You can sleep at my house if you don't want to go home.
I probably should go home, change clothes and things like that.
Of course.
So you guys all head home. You guys head into your houses, and you go to sleep. I believe it's Sunday today, right? You guys said you were heading out on the Saturday.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Sunday. You sleep for quite a bit of the day, probably till about noon. Is there anything else you want to do today?
I'm going to write my poem for Shifty.
Okay.
I want to go to the cemetery.
Okay.
But I want to do it when Oko's not outside.
Okay. What are you doing? You gotta explain this to me.
Okay. Sorry, I wasn't sure if you were gonna, ask him if he's gonna be outside or not.
No, if you're waiting for him not to be outside, then he doesn't have to be outside.
Okay, I will wait for him to not be outside, but I'll maybe see if Samuel's outside. I'm trying to catch Samuel without Oko.
Oh, wow.
Okay, roll me... Oh my gosh, what would this even be? Roll me a... stealth check?
Okay.
Or perception. We'll make it perception.
Okay. That's a good roll, too. Alright. Perception. That's gonna be an unnatural 20.
Nice. You definitely take the chance to... You see kind of the both of them out there, and you sort of wait and you watch, and as soon as Oko heads back inside to grab something or whatever he's doing, you head over to Samuel.
Hey, Samuel. I don't know if you know me super well. I'm Annabelle. I've been learning from Willow lately to help her out with island upkeep and stuff. She's doing good. I just talked to her yesterday. I know she said that you've been dropping by a lot lately. But, sorry, I'm getting off topic here. So I was wondering if I could practice some of my magic and grow some flowers for your graves, if that's not super disrespectful. But I can just also leave. That's okay, too.
No, Annabelle. That's really nice of you. Go ahead. Feel free.
Cool. Thanks. Willow doesn't want me to test out a bunch of stuff, and I know how to grow little bits of food and flowers, so I figured, the graves are here. You take really good care of them. Everyone cares about the graves, because, they're people they cared about, and I'm rambling again. I'm gonna go grow some flowers now. Thank you.
Yeah,
And I'll go around to all the little graves, and I'll make little flowers for them in the front with my druid craft, even if it's just a flower.
So you're going around to all of the graves?
Or, okay, how many graves do we have? I've always thought of this as, a tiny cemetery, but I guess it's not a tiny cemetery, since we've been here for, 400 years.
It's not minuscule, it's just... I don't even want to say average size, because average size for us is still quite large. Or at least, I don't know what it's like in your town, but out here in the big old city where people die a lot.
Oh my goodness.
That's actually the name of where we live, the big city where people die a lot.
The drastic dark turn.
I love it.
Vancouver, watch your back.
That's too real, man. That's too real.
Vancouver, you're next.
Like,
Hey there, bud. Have you heard of any polar bears coming around these parts? I hear they like to slash.
yeah.
Roll
Well,
to
like,
slash.
Oh boy.
Oh, hold on. Give me a sec. I got a spider in my room. I'm gonna squish it.
I hate them.
like
Take it outside.
in
Nah, it's on
town.
the ceiling. It's like
Get a cup and a piece of paper.
Maybe it's like the size of like a nice property. You know, like a nice sort of big
Okay.
property.
The spider or the cemetery?
That's
I was
a
gonna
big
say the
spider.
The cemetery.
Imagine
Sorry,
buying into a housing like an HOA complex and being like, oh yeah, and like, you know, we have a large spider that sometimes comes
Hey there,
around. Like,
spider,
don't
you
worry
like
about
hockey?
it.
There you go.
He keeps all the bugs away, so you know it's.
We
It's
let him
okay.
stay on the empty lot over there.
Spider wasn't good at hockey. Didn't beat my stick.
God.
Oh my god.
Damn, poor spider.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Listen,
on
I'm
topic.
good defenseman. This is my house.
My goodness.
On
Oh my
the topic.
god. My
of
neighbors are
D&D.
vacuuming and it's picking up on my audio. These
I
walls are
hear
so
it.
thin.
Yeah, we can hear it.
It's gonna either way. It's gonna get cut out because of the noise reduction, so it's fine.
You know, it's just, I'm sorry for the so much.
It's just an extra thing I gotta do. Now I got a spider on my. I still have a spider on my roof, but at least it's not moving anymore. So
Ew.
What the fuck? I thought you got it.
I squished
Yeah,
it.
it's
I said
dead.
I was gonna squish it. I took my hockey stick. I took the end of it, and I just
You
reached it up
didn't
to the
grab-
ceiling. And I can't reach. I'm 5'4". What do you want from me?
Not everyone's as tall as you, Austin.
I don't know, just like get taller.
How about I make you shorter next time I see you?
Dun, dun,
Take off his
dun.
knees.
No, my knees. They're
I don't need them
precious.
anymore.
I
They're
highly
precious.
suggest you rethink that argument with me.
Not my knees.
Okay, so it's like the size of a good property. It's probably gonna take you an hour at the least to get this done.
I will do it. I'll go until I get like really tired because I do want to practice, and I am also inadvertently trying to show Oko that I am a good person. So we're better to start with kind of invading his home in some sort of way.
Oh, nice.
Oko, you eventually come outside and you do see Annabelle making flowers, and Samuel's just kind of sitting and watching, or standing and watching.
I'm gonna I'll kind of open the door and step outside and then look at Annabelle. I don't know if she's turned away or something, just look. And I'll look at Samuel. And, does he look back?
Does he look back at you?
Yeah.
He kind of does. He does a little look back and gives you a little smile and keeps watching.
I'll do the look back and forth between them, and then I'll just slowly back up inside.
Kind of shrugs at you but lets it happen.
So that's what I'll do. And then I'll maybe drop by Willow's and just let her know that I'm doing okay and check in on her, but see if she needs anything. But then I'll head out and just go home, study, meditate.
Yeah. Anyone else doing anything?
Yeah. So, I rolled a bed around noon. There's a crash, there's a bang. I'm still wearing my clothes. I pull out the board, and I start throwing on some more pins. We've got Nimue. We've got Merlin. We've got the round table. We've got Arthur, ? We have a castle. We have a crown. We have me. I'm a king now. But I have nothing to connect them all. So I'm going to leave the board for now, but there's more stuff on it. I tuck it back under my bed, and I race down to Edmina's hut.
I still want to. I know I gave you the idea to do this in real life, and if you do ever do it, I want the pictures so badly.
I may or may not be working on it.
Oh, please. Okay, so you put it all together. Your mother kind of sees you as you're heading out the door. Friedrich, you good?
Yes, Mama, and nothing to worry about. Edmina just wants to see me at the Inquisitor's place, shack, hut. Gotta go. Bye.
All right, love you.
Love you too.
And you head off to Edmina's hut. And she's inside, very much just sitting there, putting some stuff together. And as soon as you open the door, she shuffles these papers together.
Edmina, hi. We made it. We survived. We camped the night in the woods. We were fine.
All right. Congratulations. I don't recommend doing it again, please.
I can't promise anything, but I have something that might be a little more pressing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a body in the woods near the river.
There's a what?
There's a body. It was in the river at one point. It's not in the river anymore. But we don't know who it belongs to.
Okay. I'm okay. Okay. I'm gonna go deal with that. Right now. Tell me exactly where it is.
Sure. And I pull out the map and I kind of show on the map like where the docks are and like where the body was roughly lifted out of the river by Morgana. And I kind of circle it on the map. Can I come with you?
Yes, I would appreciate that. Get your stuff now. And she starts like loading up her lace.
Already got it. I slept in the same clothes, so I'm good to go.
She's like she's packing her sword, she's grabbing like rope, everything. She's like, all right, go. And you guys head out. Before we do this, is anyone else doing anything?
Can I just say that I went and got the water
No.
gun for the grape juice water gun? Thank you. Oh, and I'll practice
You
my
go to the
script
general
for...
store and you grab... Oh, for the play?
Yeah. Sorry,
Okay.
I didn't want to interrupt you, yeah. But yeah, I would like to go and get a water gun for the grape juice and practice my script and write my poem.
You can absolutely do that.
Thank you.
All right. So, Fred, you and Edmina are rushing through the forest. She's going at a very quick pace. A body? That's concerning. So, you guys head out and you eventually reach the river and it's now daylight, so you can see things. And as you approach this body, Fred, it was very hard to see last night, especially because this body is decomposed. But the closer you get to it and the more that you can see it up front, you've seen this person every day of your life. Maybe not in person, but you've passed by a photo, a large painted portrait in your house every day. And it doesn't look exactly like him, but there on the riverbank is Adrian Van Duren.
I fall to my knees and I drop my bow that I was holding and Edmina, it's... And I just kind of walk over to the body and kneel again beside it and look at it.
She kind of puts her arm on your shoulder and kind of pats your back a bit. Okay, okay. Fred, are you sure you want to... I can get someone else to come help me, okay? You don't need to be here, okay? You can go home, okay?
I'll be fine. What was he even doing out here? How did he even fall in the river? I thought he had run off or something had happened to him, but did he really just trip and fall into a river and he couldn't get out and there was no one around? And no, I'll be okay. I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Okay, we're gonna try and make kind of like a makeshift sort of sled, okay? And we're gonna be as careful as we can bringing him back, okay?
All right.
So, can I get you to roll a perception check now that it's daylight?
That's an 18.
Looking at this body, you kind of understand what Oko was talking about last night. There's something not right with this body. Yes, it's decayed, it's quite old, and it must have been preserved by the riverbank underneath. But it seems almost hollow, which is weird to say, but it's almost like the eyes are so dark and it's very black around the rims of where the eyes should be, and it's just almost like I said, a husk of its previous form.
Edmina, something's not right about this. I haven't seen a lot of dead bodies, and I know that there are processes and there's decaying, but it looks empty, and I don't know if that has something to do with it being my father, but something's not right.
Yeah. So let's just get him back, okay? And we'll figure it out from there. All right? How about that?
All right.
Let's not leave him out here anymore.
Edmina, do you think we should tell my mother right away?
We have to.
All right.
It wouldn't be fair to keep that from her.
You're right. I don't know what I was. Okay. Let's get the body back.
You guys spend the time, you make this sort of way of being able to pull your father a bit easier through the woods, and Edmina's clearing the path as much as she can, kind of kicking things out of the way as you both pull. And eventually you do make it back to town, much, much later than you planned to. It's getting quite dark, but eventually Edmina sort of goes to someone's house and knocks on it, someone who works at Loalau on the mainland, and asks to borrow their truck just for a little bit, and they agree, and Edmina sort of, you in the front, and Fred, you've never driven in a truck before, you're in the passenger side, you've definitely seen them, maybe you've sat in one before, but you never drove in one before, but Edmina sort of, you guys load the body into the back and you bring it to the medical clinic, which is sort of your only hospital, your only sort of medical station on the island, and you bring the body there, and Edmina kind of speaks with the doctors for a little bit. Your world's a little blurry at the moment, everything's happening, but she speaks to them, and then she returns the truck, and you two walk to your house, where Edmina knocks on the door, and your mother answers. Ah, Edmina, Friedrich, what can I do for you? Are you two off doing some island business? does that mean? What does it mean you found Papa? What does that mean? Ramona, let's take a seat. Let's go sit down. And your mom doesn't even get a chance to walk to her living room, and she just collapses at the front door, sobbing. Head in hand, she is almost inconsolable, and Amina does her best to kind of help her up and brings her to the couch, and used to sort of sit there. And she tells, it definitely looks like him. Fred recognized it as well, but it might be a good idea for you to come by and just confirm. And she's sort of just crying, and she just nods her head. And she looks at you, Fred, and just kind of cups your face and looks at you, just looking at you, and you can see tears just running down her face. And that's where we're going to end this episode.
Oh,
Holy fuck,
It's
Ashley.
getting heartbreaking. I was about to cry. My
I
heart. My
I saw
heart
that
dropped.
coming.